Anna, I think we got everything we need.
Yes! Let's go have some fun! This is nice. A perfect way to end the day.
Hey everyone, welcome back to English Over Tea, Listen and Speak, the podcast where we sit down, have a nice cup of tea, and talk about how to make your English sound just a little more natural. If you're new, subscribe so you don't miss our daily episodes.
And I'm Dan, and full disclosure, Anna, my tea today is actually mostly just honey and a tiny bit of water. My throat is a little scratchy today.
Oh no, Dan. You should have told me. I would have brought you some of that fancy ginger tea I have. But honestly, as long as you have a mug in your hand, you're part of the club.
Exactly. It's the vibe that counts, right? So anyway, I actually had a pretty funny, embarrassing experience the other day that perfectly fits what we're talking about today.
Oh, I love an embarrassing Dan story. Please share with the class.
Okay, so I was at this really fancy cafe downtown. You know the ones where the menus don't even have prices and the waiters wear like vests and ties?
Oh, I know the type. Very posh.
Right. So I walk up to the counter and I'm just starving, right? I hadn't eaten all day. And the waiter, this very serious looking guy, asks me what I'd like. And I just blurt out, I want a chocolate croissant now.
Oh no, Dan. Now? Really?
I know. I sounded like a 5-year-old having a tantrum. The waiter just kind of stared at me for a second. It was so quiet. I could hear the espresso machine humming. He looked at me like I was a barbarian or something. I realized immediately that my English sounded, a bit too strong.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're diving into today. That I want feeling. You see, grammatically, saying I want a croissant is 100% correct. But socially, it can be a little, blunt.
Yeah, I felt that. It was like I was giving an order to someone, which wasn't my intention at all.
Exactly. And that brings us to our first big word for today, want. Now, for our listeners, want is usually the first word you learn when you're talking about things you desire. It's simple, it's direct, and it's very common.
Right. It's the I need this in my life right now word.
Exactly. We use want when we're expressing a real desire or a plan to have something. And the grammar is actually pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, usually it's just want plus a noun, like I want coffee or I want a new phone. Or you can use want plus to and then a verb, right? Like I want to sleep or I want to learn English.
Spot on. It's very confident and very strong. But like you found out at the cafe, Dan, want has a specific time and place. If you're hanging out with your best friend on the couch and you say, hey, I want pizza tonight, that's totally fine. It's casual. Your friend isn't going to think you're being rude.
Right, because with friends you can be direct. You don't have to be all, oh, would it be possible to perhaps consider pizza?
Exactly. But when you're talking to a stranger or a boss or even a waiter in a fancy vest, want can sound a bit like you're giving an order to someone below you. It's very, it lacks that soft edge that makes English sound polite.
So it's about the social energy, as some people say. Want is high energy, direct desire. It's about your determination to get what you're asking for.
Yes, I like that. Determination. It's like saying, I'm getting this thing. But we don't always want to sound that aggressive, do we? Especially if we're asking for a favor or ordering food.
Definitely not. I learned my lesson. I think I'm going to retire I want for a while. at least when I'm in public.
Well, don't retire it completely. It's still great for talking about your goals. Like if you're telling me your dreams, you might say, Anna, I want to travel the world. That sounds passionate and real.
True, true. It shows ambition. But okay, so if I'm at that fancy cafe again, minus the barbarian vibes, what should I be using instead of want to make sure the waiter doesn't think I'm about to start a food fight?
Well, that's where the well-dressed cousin of want comes in.
The well-dressed cousin. I like that.
Yeah, but you know what? Before we get to that, let's just make sure we really have the want structure down. It's so easy to overthink it.
Good idea. So it's just subject plus want plus noun, or subject plus want to plus verb.
Exactly. I want water or I want to travel. Simple, direct, just maybe don't use it for your boss when you're asking for a raise.
I want more money. Now. Yeah, I can see how that might end poorly.
Exactly. So let's keep that tea warm because we're about to move into the more polite side of things. So, Dan, let's get back to that well-dressed cousin I mentioned earlier. If want is the casual friend in a t-shirt and jeans, then would like is the cousin in a nice suit and tie. They both have the same goal, they both express desire, but the energy is totally different.
I like that. So instead of being the barbarian at the cafe, I should have used my suit and tie English?
Exactly. In English, would like is basically just the polite, softened version of want. It makes you sound much more respectful and natural, especially when you're talking to people you don't know very well, like waiters, hotel staff, or even colleagues.
Okay, so give me the breakdown. How do I actually, put it together in a sentence? Is it more complicated than want?
Not really. It's actually very similar. You can follow it with a noun or with a to and a verb. So you could say, I would like a coffee, or I would like to order a coffee.
I would like a coffee. It sounds a bit, I don't know, a bit formal? Like I'm talking to a king or something.
Well, you're right. Saying I would like out loud can feel a little stiff. That's why in real conversation, we almost always shorten it. I would becomes I'd. So instead of I would like some water, most native speakers will just say, I'd like some water, please.
Oh, I'd. Yeah, I hear that all the time. I'd like. It's so much faster. I'd like a sandwich. I'd like to go home. It just, it flows better, right?
Totally. It's that small contraction that makes you sound like a pro. And think about the feeling, Dan. Remember your cafe story? When you said, I want a croissant, it felt like an order, like you were the boss and he was just there to serve you. But when you say, I'd like, it sounds like a request. It's more gentle.
It's like giving the other person a little bit of space.
Exactly. You're not pushing them, you're just sharing your preference. It's much warmer and more welcoming. Actually, let's do a little role play. I'll be the waiter this time since you clearly need the practice, and you try to order something without scaring me.
Okay, I'm ready. I've got my polite face on.
Good evening. Welcome to Tea and Tattle. What can I get for you today?
Hi there. I'd like the mushroom risotto, please.
Excellent choice. And would you like anything to drink with that?
Yes, I'd like a glass of sparkling water, please. Oh, and do you have any bread to start?
Of course. I'd be happy to bring some out for you.
Wow, that actually felt nice. I didn't feel like a barbarian at all.
See? And notice how want never even came up. I'd like handled the whole thing. And for our listeners, here's a quick practice moment. Imagine you're at a hotel reception desk. You have a reservation for 2 nights. How would you say that using our new polite cousin?
Oh, I know this one. I'd say, I'd like to check in, please. Or I'd like a room for 2 nights.
Perfect. That sounds professional and supernatural. The key thing to remember is that would like is for things that are actually possible. Real plans, real requests, real orders. It's not for dreaming about winning the lottery or growing wings and flying away.
Right. It's grounded in reality. It's for things you can actually get, like pizza or a hotel room.
Exactly. If you're at a work conference and someone offers you a drink, you wouldn't say, I want water. You'd say, I'd like some water. Thank you. It's the service situation superstar word.
So let me make sure I've got the difference between these two down before we move on. Want is for my best friends, my family, or when I'm feeling really direct and determined. Like, hey, Anna, I want pizza tonight. You in?
Correct. And I'd like is for when I'm out in the world being a polite member of society or even at work when I'm talking to my boss.
Boss, I'd like a raise.
Much better than I want more money, though it still might be a tough conversation. But you know, Dan, there's a third word we haven't touched yet, and this one is, well, it's the dreamer of the family.
The dreamer?
Yeah, it's for those times when want and would like just aren't enough because the thing you desire isn't actually happening right now. Or maybe it's completely impossible.
Ah, you mean when I'm staring out the window at the rain and wishing I was on a beach in Hawaii?
Exactly. That little word, wish. It has its own rules and a completely different vibe than the other two.
Oh boy, wish always sounds a bit complicated. Doesn't the grammar get all weird, like using the past to talk about the present?
It does, but don't worry, we're going to break it down. It's actually pretty cool once you see how it works. It's like a secret code for your imagination.
The dreamer, huh? Okay, I'm listening. But I have to admit, wish has always been the one that makes my brain itch a little. It's like the grammar rules suddenly decide to go on vacation and leave a confusing note behind.
You're not alone, Dan. Wish is definitely the most creative one of the three. Here's the main thing to remember. While want and would like are about real things, things that are actually happening or could happen, wish is for the gap.
The gap?
Yeah, the gap between what is real and what you would love to be true. It's for things that are difficult, impossible, or just completely imaginary. Like, I don't know, I wish I could fly.
Right, which, unless you're a pilot or a bird, is pretty much impossible.
Exactly. And that's why the grammar gets a bit weird. To show the listener that we're talking about something unreal, we use the past tense, even though we're talking about right now.
Wait. Slow down. Past tense for the present. So if I want more money, which let's be real, who doesn't? I don't say I wish I have money.
Correct. You'd say, I wish I had more money. Even though you're talking about your bank account right this second, you use had, the past tense, as a signal. It tells the listener, hey, this isn't my reality right now.
Oh, okay. So it's like a secret code for the listener. Had equals I don't actually have this.
You got it. It's like saying, in my imagination, I have this. Let's try another one. Imagine you live in a tiny apartment in the city, but you're obsessed with the ocean. How would you say that?
Let's see. My reality is the city. My dream is the beach. So I wish I lived near the beach.
Perfect. I wish I lived, not I wish I live, because you don't live there. It's an unreal situation.
That actually, that makes sense when you put it that way. It's about showing the distance between the dream and the truth. What about like skills? I'm terrible at the guitar. I mean, truly awful.
Then you'd say, I wish I could play the guitar. Again, we use could, the past of can, to show that it's an ability you don't have right now.
I wish I could play the guitar. Man, if only saying this sentence made me better at it, I'd be a rock star by now.
If only. But we also use wish for things that are just, well, annoying.
Oh, like my neighbor who decides that 2 a.m. is the perfect time to practice his drums?
Precisely. When we're talking about something annoying that we want to change in the future, we use a slightly different structure. Wish plus someone or something plus would. So you think to yourself, I wish my neighbor would stop playing the drums.
Oh, I have said that many times. Or I wish the rain would stop when I'm trying to go for a run.
Exactly. It's expressing a bit of frustration. You want the situation to be different.
So, okay, let me see if I can tie all three together. Let's use the topic of a car.
Great idea.
Okay, so situation 1, I'm talking to a car salesman. I'm serious. I've got the money. I'd say, I'd like to buy this car. It's a polite request for a real plan.
Spot on.
Situation 2, I'm at home and my old car just broke down for the 10th time. I'm frustrated. I might tell my wife, I'm done with this junker. I want a new car. It's direct, it's emotional, and it's a clear desire.
Exactly. High energy.
But then situation 3, I'm walking down the street and I see this incredibly expensive limited edition Italian sports car. I know I'll never be able to afford it. I'd sigh and say, I wish I had that car.
Dan, that was perfect. You nailed it. You used would like for the possible plan, want for the direct desire, and wish for the dream that's, well, out of reach.
I'm starting to feel like a pro now. But I have noticed one thing. Sometimes I hear people say things like, I wish to have a coffee. Is that okay? It sounds a bit, I don't know, like they're in a Shakespeare play.
You're right on the money. Technically, it is grammatically possible, but in everyday American English, it sounds incredibly formal and honestly a little strange. If you said that to a waiter, they'd probably think you were practicing for a theater audition.
I wish to have a coffee, my good man. Yeah, I can see how that might get some weird looks.
Right. Stick to I'd like a coffee. It's the safe, natural choice for the real world. Wish is for the big stuff, the dreams, the what ifs, and the if onlys.
Got it. Wish is the dreamer, would like is the polite professional, and want is the direct, honest friend.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And there's one more little trick with wish that involves people's feelings, but let's take a quick sip of our tea first.
Good call. My honey water actually starting to taste pretty good.
I told you, the tea vibe is powerful. Stick with me because in the final part, we're going to put all of this into a real-life practice session to make sure our listeners can use these words without even thinking about it. Dan, how's that throat feeling? Still scratchy, or has the English practice cured you?
Honestly, Anna, I think the power of learning is actually working. Either that or this honey is really kicking in. But I'm feeling good. I'm ready to stop being the barbarian at the cafe and start sounding like a local.
That's the spirit. So to wrap things up today, I want to look at a little story that brings everything we talked about together. It's about a guy named Daniel.
Oh, another Daniel. Is he as cool as me?
Maybe. So Daniel works in a super busy office. Every morning, his alarm goes off early, and the first thing he thinks is, I wish I had more time to relax.
I know that feeling. And see, there it is. He's in bed right now. But he says had.
Exactly. It's the unreal signal because his reality is that he has to get up and go to work. Then, during his lunch break, he's scrolling through travel photos and says, I wish I could travel the world.
Again, the dreamer. It's a big emotional desire that feels a bit out of reach right now.
Right. But then he gets more practical. He looks at his calendar and says, I'd like to take a vacation next year.
Okay, so that's the suit and tie cousin. Again, it's a real plan, a polite way of stating a goal that he actually intends to make happen.
You got it. And then finally, it's Friday night. He's tired, he's at home, and he texts his roommate, I want pizza tonight.
Casual, direct, and honest. Between friends, it's perfect.
Exactly. One guy, one day, but three different words for three different feelings. It's all about that social energy and whether the thing you want is real or just a dream.
That really clears it up. So before we go, can we do a super quick lightning round quiz for the listeners, just to make sure it's stuck in there?
I love a lightning round. Okay, listeners, I'll give you the situation and you try to say the right sentence out loud before Dan gives the answer.
I'm ready. I'm the referee today.
Okay, situation 1. You're at a doctor's office. The receptionist asks how she can help you. What do you say? Pans.
You'd say, I'd like to make an appointment, please. It's a formal setting, so stay polite.
Nice. Situation 2. You're talking to a friend about your busy life. You say, I don't have enough time to exercise. I really blank. I had more time. Pans.
That's I wish I had more time. It's an unreal situation because, well, you're busy.
Perfect. Situation 3. You're texting your flatmate. You write, hey, what do you blank for dinner tonight? Pans.
What do you want for dinner tonight? Keep it casual with the people you live with.
And last one, you're at a work conference. Someone offers you a drink. You say, Pans.
I'd like some water, thank you. Professional and appropriate for the office.
Dan, you are officially an expert. No more barbarian orders for you.
Haha, thank goodness. So, to recap for everyone listening at home or in the car, want is for direct, honest desires, best for friends and family. Would like, usually shortened to I'd like, is for polite requests and real plans. And wish is the dreamer, used for unreal, difficult, or imaginary situations, often followed by the past tense as a signal.
And remember, even though it's grammatically okay, please don't say, I wish to have a coffee to a waiter. It's just too formal for the real world. Stick with, I'd like a coffee, please.
Your waiter will definitely thank you for that.
They really will. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of English Over Tea, Listen and Speak. We really hope this helped clear up the confusion between these three little words.
Yeah, and we have a challenge for you. We want to hear from you. Try writing 3 sentences, one with want, one with would like, and one with wish. Make them real. Tell us something you really want, a plan you'd like to make, and a dream you wish were true.
Yes, practice is the only way to make it natural. If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to follow the podcast and share it with a friend who's also on their English learning journey.
It's always easier when you learn together. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys.
It was a pleasure. Keep practicing, keep sipping that tea, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.